Hello friends, right, do you know what? This is like half an hour after the madness of the live stream, I swear. Friday's live streams are like on some different planet, but super cool. But I just wanted to give a little update on my intern. Listen, because if I left it until like I've hired somebody and the video is going to be so long, you're going to be like, Shireen, come on now. So I thought, let me just give you like snippets as I go along. So, right, I think I had just in terms of numbers, so you can, because I want to thank everybody for like helping me, considering I only kept it open for 5 days. So I had like 220 what I call applications where people just like sent me their CV and did nothing else, despite the fact that I said that they don't need to see the CV, so if you can get that. And then I had 80 applications from genuine people who took the time to go and answer the questions and show me their work. What I want to say is this. I know that there's a lot of people weren't happy about the fact I was very specific in looking for a black intern, but putting that to one side, the amount of talent, like literally, like my mind was absolutely blown. These are young people, right? Young black people, and I think there's a couple of things that really struck me. One is when you do not expect, particularly young people, and I would say this for anybody, but you know what, particularly young people, when you don't expect them to conform to the same dry biscuit recruitment processes that you've been doing in your business all this time. So like where you expect them to give every single detail of their name, their inside leg, like where they went to school, how many, like A levels, blah, 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 all of this stuff, because it adds data for your back end systems, but it adds no value to the process or to the individual whatsoever. It allows you to be far more creative. Secondly, when you take the pressure off the CV, so if I compare the information that I got from people who just literally press submit and sent me their CV, link to the drive or whatever, and those who took the time and answered the questions, told me why they're really interested in what I'm interested in, showed me links to their work, like night and day. So one of the questions I had, so all they had to do was give me their first name and their email address. That was it. That was the only identifiers that they need. Didn't need their surname, didn't need to put in their address details, because remember, I'm not thinking about pushing this into an ATS, trying to make my life easier at the other end. I'm just thinking about, let me just make it really easy for them to show me the best of them for the purpose of applying for this internship. So super simple questions. And then they had to answer a question that says, another version of why do you want this internship, right? So, what is it? Off they go. Here's some links to their work. Give me their Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn handles so I can go and look them up and see what's what. Then I asked the question, last question, what's one more thing that you would like me to know? And then you get a whole load of other stuff. So those two questions. So first off, because we always ask the traditional question, we tell people to put it in a covering letter, and then we go off we go. So I asked that equivalent question, but then that one more thing. And let me tell you, some of the information that I found out was crazy. So you've got people who are artists, models, actors and actresses, photographers, graphic designers, activists, writers, poets, singers. Like, listen, if you could see my inbox, and the thing that got me, and when I was reviewing them like very, very late and I'm trying to reply to people, is, to be honest, on paper, like until, I've met some of them or whatever, but on paper, out of that 80, let me tell you, 20, I could have easily taken and, like interviewed them, basically had a conversation with all of them really, really easily. Just, it was a case of, I was saying to my partner, like, come and like, so you got to help me with this, because like, I don't even know, who to choose, because it was so good. And then the other thing that struck me is that look at all this talent that's wasted. Talent that is wasted in the world, but particularly here, these young people, and just be crystal clear, all my applications, what really made me smile, they weren't all from black people. So some people did kind of say that they wanted to apply even though they were white, they were from this background, that background. They were basically saying like, look, I know you want black people, but please, like, I'll come and work for you for free, I'll do. So really love that, and I will go back to them and give them some constructive feedback and I'll think about other things that I can do. So that's not a what's the phrase I'm looking for? It doesn't preclude them from doing anything with me at a later point, because there's other stuff I want to do. It's not just this. This is just about the here and now. So anyway, so really super, super cool, super talented. And what's really interesting is they all gave their very different reasons for why they care about racial equity and equality, and whether it's about Black lives, whether it's about the intersectionality of Black people with other identities and other struggles that we have in the workplace. Like, they were giving it, and they care so much about it. And the thing is, from an organisational perspective, and I've said this for years, but it's really brought it home to me, is that if you keep on with your same dry biscuit ways of attracting people, if you do not stand for something as a business, irrespective of whether you're like for what I'm for or what for they're for, these young people are looking for organisations, for brands to work with people, even if you're like a one man or woman band, who care about something other than just like, you know, like existing to run a business. And when I say care, I mean like you're willing to go out on a limb to care, because that's what a lot of them were saying in their messages to me. Like, you know, they like the fact that the unapologetic approach, and they want to be able to learn from that, because what some of them are worried about is they care very much about these things, but they're applying for jobs in organisations that basically couldn't give a flying, or they're not showing that they care. But also they feel like they're not going to have the space and the time to do the stuff that they really care about. Whereas I'm saying, if you want to run your own business, I will teach you some stuff around that. You want to get into HR, you want to get into business, you want to know how to do your own videos, you want to know how to edit your videos, I can teach you that. You want to know how to grow your profile on LinkedIn, I can teach you that. You want to know the nuts and bolts about the business side of what I do and how I'm liaising with clients and what I'm doing for them and how I do it, and my systems and my processes that I use, because like I'm a tech person, right? So, you know, automate everything within an inch of its life just to make my life really easy. I can show you all of that. But how often do organisations put that on the table for young people in particular, but for anybody, and say, listen, what is it that you're trying to do, and how can we connect the dots between what you're trying to do and what we're trying to do, so we win, but also you win? Because so often, you know, we expect people to leave the bits that they care about. They're only expected to do what we need them to do, and then we shy away from allowing them the space and the time to explore the other things that they care about. In an ideal world, it would match, but let's be honest, it's very rare that you find organisations that have got a very strong social mission as well as like the commercials and the business angle of what they do. And I just go back to like these dry biscuit recruitment processes. Like, come on, you are missing out on talented people, full stop, irrespective of their ethnicity, their background, and whatever else it is. If you just strip away some of those things that are barriers, you know, a CV is just boring. You know, expecting people to only work for you and to give 120% so they have nothing left to be able to do for their creative expression is really old-fashioned, and it's boring, and it's unexciting, and it's the same reason why you will lose people, or you will have uninspired people, because they're a bit like, I'm doing all of this for you as a business, but I can't affect the positivity and the change that I want to in society, because I feel like I can make a contribution. And I'm saying to them, we're going to do this together with what I want to do, but also I will help you to learn a system and a framework that will enable you to make the difference in the things that you care about that maybe not be my cause. Like, and that's like a win-win all round. So I know it just feels like I'm on my soapbox about this, but I just, no more dry biscuit processes, please. So that's like a short and sweet video for a Sunday, but we need to do better. But more updates about the interns will be coming, trust me, because like I've got plenty to say about this, but it's all good stuff. Super, super amazing individuals. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday, and I will see you tomorrow.